Hello everybody, my name is Luis Fernandez Luque and today we are going to speak about social media and health communication crisis. First of all, we will review a little bit what is social media, then what do we mean with crisis management, how we can detect and monitor those crises, and then we will focus in some cases on miscommunication. We will speak also a little bit about how to communicate and educate, benefit, challenge, and conclusions. All of this will be done from using a study case, the Ebola crisis. First of all, we will start speaking about social media. As you already know in this course, social media has been widely used in the health domain. Even health authorities like the CDC has made guidelines how to use social media for health communication, how to use YouTube, Flickr, Facebook for health communication. We shouldn't be so surprised if we take into consideration that already in the year 2007, the magazine Time said that the person of the year was you, meaning that you are using social media and everyday people, lay person have become major celebrities right now. Why this is happening? As you can see in this slide, global social media is extremely popular all over the world. Most of the most popular social media platforms are originally from the US, but you will see also some changes in Brazil. You have Urkut, and in Russia there are other networks, also in mainland China. This is something all over the world. You will notice also that in Africa there are not so many social media platforms, but the issue in there is that actually SMS and mobile phone have become the major channel, especially nowadays WhatsApp. There are many definitions of social media applied to health. One of the first one was Medicine 2.0. This is from a paper from Professor Gunther Eisenbach, which is already quite old the paper. But as you can see, social media in the health domain has managed is a tool that has managed to create a mediation to facilitate participation, openness, and also collaboration. And you have that between patients, with patients, between patients and professional, and all together. Now we'll speak also a little bit about crisis management. First of all, what is a crisis? A crisis is a difficult or dangerous situation that needs attention. When there is something that we need to take care of, that can be a crisis. Has to be difficult situation and hard to handle, and also it can be a dangerous. It's also a moment where we can do something to prevent that it gets worse or not. So if we don't do something, we'll have an issue. And a crisis can be also something emotional. Those are definitions from the online dictionary Merriam-Webster. There are many examples. You can have a global crisis, like the right now the Ebola outbreak in West Africa is a global crisis because there have been cases in the US and Spain. You may have crisis within a sector, like for instance, the health sector is becoming very expensive to treat patients. So we can say that there is no way that we can continue with the development of the health domain since everything is becoming very expensive. That can be a crisis in the healthcare sector, or you may have also a crisis in a pharma company. There is some bad news about a new drug or etc. And you can also face personal crisis like marriage meltdown. There are many theoretical frameworks about crisis management. Pretty much all those frameworks that you can see in that slide, they have three periods where you have to do different things. Before the crisis, you need to monitor to try to identify the crisis, to detect those signals that a crisis is emerging, and also you need to do many things to try to prevent and to get ready for a crisis. For instance, one of the issues with the Ebola crisis in West Africa was that The healthcare system was not prepared to control an outbreak. As a result, the outbreak came out of control. Also, it's quite different during the crisis because during the crisis you need to try to contain the crisis so it doesn't spread more, like with the quarantine, and also to limit the damage that is done. From a communication point of view, it's like when something bad has happened, you may have to start to communicate to try to dismiss the damage in reputation. Also, once the crisis is over, you have to recover. You need to try to regain the trust. And also, you may have to reorganize the way your organization is done. That's something called in the paper from Crandall as organizational learning.